You want to sit on Daddy's lap?
Yeah.
Okay.
Daddy's lap.
Okay, Daddy's lap. Daddy's gonna sit. So here we go. All right. Oh. Wait, hang on, we gotta fix this. Hang on, we gotta fix this. Stay right here. Wait, it's okay. I just have to fix the camera. Hold on, baby. Welcome to Sunday. Okay, you ready? Okay, what do we say? We say, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Sunday edition of presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, and HUDCOroofing.com. Yes, indeed. Okay, so everybody, Tigers win. LSU beat Southern 65-17, and it's finally here. Saints at Falcons. The return potentially of Scone, depending on how today goes. Hey, I have a question for you. What do we say when the Saints are playing? Who dat? Who dat is right. It's exactly what we say when the Saints are playing. Okay. We'll say some good mornings, everybody. We'll run through the LSU game. Tigers beat Southern. They fixed a lot of, or I should say corrected a lot of what went wrong against Florida State, obviously. So we will get to a lot of that. If you got questions or comments and all that good stuff, you know, fire away. Drew's here. He's ready for a little Saints game day, aren't we? Hunter Eilers, good morning. Kelly Presley, Michael Spazale, Wayne Dolisi, good morning. For Dolise? Brandon Scott, Bruno Van Moore. This is great. Missy Martin, Adam Michaels, what's going on? Kelly Gross, Chase Pellegrin, Adam Michaels, we appreciate y'all. I like the coordination of the shirts. Unintentional. Well, I mean, I'll have on Saints today. I slept in this last night, and I got him dressed already, so of course put him in a Saints shirt. So, all right. Thanks for watching, y'all. We appreciate you for being here. Let's talk a little bit about the game last night, and what a wild, wacky day of college football. I did make it to the end of BYU Baylor, which BYU won in overtime. How about Desmond Howard? His college football playoff bracket included Texas A&M, lost, Pitt, lost, Baylor lost, and Michigan, who won. So Desmond Howard's playoff bracket, hi Drew, certainly taking a hit after yesterday, but again, what a clown for putting out that bracket. Anyway, wild, wacky day. A&M loses to App State. Bama, survived against Texas. Of course, Notre Dame lost. Again, Notre Dame, Brian Kelly was not your problem. But, you know, sometimes you gotta learn things the hard way. Zachary Hardy, Devin Kelly, good morning. Jason H. Caleb, good morning. Chris Roy, thought the Tigers did what they needed to. Start fast, play pretty clean, don't think anyone got injured. Yeah, for sure. So they definitely did start fast. Run through a couple of my takeaways from the Lsu Southern game. Thanks for watching, by the way. If you are new, please like the page, share the post on Facebook, YouTube. Please smash that like button and subscribe up to the channel if you haven't done so yet. And thanks to everybody who watched Whiskey and Wine last night. We appreciate you as always for participating. Yeah, look, opening play of the game, opening kickoff. LSU kicks off to Southern, and Xavier Carter forced a fumble. So just from jump, LSU got a big play, and 1, 2, 3 plays later, they were in the end zone. Third, they immediately got Kayshawn involved. First play of the game, they threw him the out route with the rolling pocket. They tipped him the ball on second down on a shovel pass. Daniels had the 18-yard touchdown run on 3rd and 7, which was a really great individual effort. They gave the ball to Kayshawn on an end around that went 42 yards. He had a 26-yard reception where he got down to the 1-yard line, couldn't quite get in. Daniels scored a rushing touchdown. Williams scored a rushing touchdown. Besh scored a touchdown on a beautiful play by Daniels to elude pressure, roll left, extend the play, and then throw the ball accurately in the back corner of the end zone. Baskerville got a pick six off the Desmond Little tip. Desmond Little, I thought, played really well. Malik Neighbors had a touchdown. Brian Thomas had a touchdown. They had a block punt for a safety. Baskerville with the block punt there. He was awesome. We got to see Garrett Nussmeier. Biggest takeaway is that anybody who was riding the Nuss bus, now you understand why. For about, 6 months or so, I kept telling you Jaden Daniels was going to be the starting quarterback on this team. Despite the fact that you all didn't want to hear it, now maybe you understand. There is no quarterback controversy. Garrett Nussmeier is far too careless with the football. Through 2 games, Jaden Daniels has yet to turn it over. He's yet to put it on the ground. He's yet to throw the ball into trouble. And that will help you win a lot of games. And he's also really dynamic with his feet. We don't need to have this conversation anymore. I think you all probably understand that. So even the most ardent drivers of the Nuss bus must concede now. Like, it is over, bro. It's over. And that's a great thing for LSU, quite honestly, because you don't want to get into a situation where you have a quarterback controversy. Chase Pellegrin, Rodney Canali, what's going on? Kevin Roy, bartender at Don Juan. Okay. What's up, Kevin? Bonus points for Whiskey and Wine last night. Linebacker play was subpar. Too many missed tackles. Look, it's got to be, listen, you're reaching if you're finding something with a fault with the game last night other than Nussmeier's interceptions. But listen, Baskerville was awesome. He had the block punt. He had the pick six. He just has a knack for making really big plays. So I can't understand why he's not on the field. Ali Gay, of course, didn't play the first half, and they held out B.J. Ojolari, who, of course, got a little tweaked against Florida State right after on that same drive that Mason Smith did, but played the whole game. So it was an opportunity to sit him with Mississippi State next week. And you got Desmond Little and Savion Jones, a ton of playing time with those guys out. So I think LSU had a lot accomplished in that ball game last night. What else? Quick notes. Special teams, of course. We saw Gregory Clayton return punts. Thought he did a great job. I mean, he fielded it. He had an 18-yard return on the first one. Jack Mashburn was the left wing on PAT and field goal, so he replaced Mason Taylor, which, of course, I can't believe it was a thing. Love that they got Booty involved or Booty involved earlier. Great to see Besh get a touchdown. Thought Desmond Little was really good. See if there's anything else. Harold Perkins got the start at one of the inside backer spots and played really well. He was your leading tackler with 7. Dude just has a nose for the football. Little was your second leading tackler with 6. West Weeks and Savion Jones had 6 apiece as well. Jaquelin Roy 5 tackles from his defensive line spot. I'm trying to think of note. Let's see, Greg Penn played pretty well at 4 tackles. And Mike Jones just 2, which is a little disappointing. But anyway, all right. So let me know what y'all got. Josh McAllister, man, traffic last night, I heard, but that's every game when a lot of people go, right? Vernell Thomas, good morning. Wasn't able to see the game, trying to figure out how did the Nuss throw 2 interceptions against Southern. Well, if you're asking that question, it's obvious you didn't see the game. Both were awful decisions where he forced balls. One, he was rolling to his right, and he needed to just throw it in the 10th row. And while he's being tackled, he just flicks the ball forward, and that was Southern's first touchdown. It's like a 90-yard pick six. So, I mean, that's why. Henry Burrell, Matt, quick question: is there an issue at linebacker? Yeah, I mean we've talked about this. Keeping in mind, look, B.J. Ojolari is your jack, and he didn't dress last night, but I thought Desmond Little played really well. And I thought Harold Perkins played well last night. So I'm not going to tell you that in the second half I was super keyed in on the linebackers. I saw Colby Fields out there, who's the South Carolina transfer. So they were running some different guys in the second half. In the first half, Southern went 3 and out, pick 6 on first down, 3 and out, fumble on third down. And then they finally got a first down. And then 3 and out after that, 3 and out. Then they put together a nice drive late in the second quarter and missed the 43-yard field goal. That's after LSU kind of emptied their bench a bit. So I just think Baskerville's got to be part of this, man. Baskerville just has to be he just got to take more snaps. Jesse Bergeron, Rusty Seacrest, good morning. Bubba Tatum, can we get a recap of the cigar conversation from last night? Here you rap that PG version would be worth it. John Webb, good morning. Lance Richard, Nussmeyer looks bad, leads me to think the quarterback competition wasn't as close as we were led on to be. Lance, I told you that for 6 months that Jaden Daniels was going to be the starting quarterback. I mean, I don't know why. Like, it's, I don't know, man. Maybe y'all get it. Maybe some of y'all don't get why, like, I'm frustrated. But so much of this stuff that I was willing to say for months and months and months, you're seeing. I'm not right about everything. Don't get me wrong. But, like, we talked about you're going to have issues on the offensive line. We talked about how you really didn't have any experience at linebacker other than Baskerville. All new cornerbacks. Really no established running backs. Like, we talked about all these things. Kicking game. Everybody knew in the kicking game. Specialists. All new. Like, we talked about this for months and months and months. And I got shooed, basically, for months and months and months. And I go, man, linebacker's not that good. Man, special teams. Man, offensive line. No, I mean, anyway, whatever. All right, so onward. Zachary Hart, let's see, where are we? Randall Offrecht, good morning. Brian Williams, Kyle Milliken, D, Elite Goods, Larry Gardner, Armstrong Grappling, Damon Hinderberger, Ryan Rogers, appreciate y'all for being here. E-Dub, let's see, Matt, you're the man. You're the only one who looked at the quarterback objectively. Everyone anointed us after the spring game. Right. Thank you for acknowledging that. The thing that I think most people ignored after the spring game, which we tried to talk about, was Jaden Daniels got dropped onto campus like the week of that spring began. Had no timing with receivers, had no knowledge of the offense, had no timing with his offensive line. Like, all that stuff matters, and you see it. Like, he's getting more and more comfortable, and we'll keep getting better and better. Donovan Peterson, Trivia Carter, Eric Mathern, what's going on? LSU Sports Fanatic, Scone equals good. Thank you. Devin Kelly, what's up? Chance Babin, Nuss did exactly what people expected, didn't take care of the ball. Jaden Daniels not turn over the ball. You know what's crazy though, Chance? What was the whole narrative? Well, 10 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. And what did I say a year ago? What did I say? Go look at who he was throwing the football to. He was also their leading rusher a year ago because he had no running backs and no receivers. When he was a freshman and he had a first-round draft pick, Brandon Ayuk, as his number one receiver, oh, stunning. He had 17 touchdowns and 3 picks and threw for 2,800 yards. Crazy. Crazy what happens when you have good receivers, right? The Sun Belt is a Power 5 nightmare in September. What a day for the Sun Belt, man. Georgia Southern beat Nebraska, on top of App State beating A&M, and Marshall beating Notre Dame. Zachary Hardy, I know the level of competition had significant drop-off with the shuffling of the offensive line. How did you think they performed? Yeah, Zachary, so, like, I would lean on, like, T-Bob, who we did talk about it yesterday on Whiskey and Wine. He said they kind of didn't play great. And yeah, so when you look at the final score and everything, sometimes that can mask what happened. I'll wait and see kind of how they all grade out. We'll ask Brian Kelly what he thought. I'll tell you what I do like. I do like Miles Frazier as a tackle. I mean, he was a freshman All-America tackle a year ago. I didn't like him at left guard. I like him better at tackle. So if you go Campbell left tackle, Miles Frazier right tackle, I think that's good. Charles Turner played center, and you had 2 different snap infractions where he clearly messed. It was clearly messed up the count when half the line's moving and the ball sitting there. So that's something that's timing, right? Why you want all those reps in camp. I'll be curious to see if they keep Dellinger at guard and Charles Turner at center. If they move Dellinger back to center, we'll see. But a guy who I'd probably like to see is get more run now is Emory Jones. He had his most notable play yesterday was the pancake he had, down at the goal line, like he pushed a dude all the way across the field, pancaked him over the pylon. That's just EJ, man. He's a big, strong kid, and he is a very physical player. And it would not surprise me if you keep getting subpar guard play. Like Tremont Shorts did not play great yesterday when he got his opportunity, I'll tell you that. I'd probably look and say, okay, if all else is equal and you've got two guys that are playing about on par at the same level, but one guy has a higher ceiling, he's a freshman, like I would go with the guy with the higher ceiling. That's going to give you, that's going to keep getting better. Danny Braywick, my bankroll took a hit yesterday. Oh, Danny. Yesterday was a bloodbath. Oh, man. I mean, I had Bama, didn't cover. I had Tennessee, but my bigger play was the total in that game. I had the over. And the over, I think it was at 64 and a half. Tennessee, they were at 38 in the second quarter. I'm like, they may get this by halftime. And then Keaton Slovis gets hurt, goes out of the game, and Pitt doesn't score again. So that didn't hit. I had Baylor. +3. They lost in overtime because they missed a freaking PAT that would have won in regulation. Kickers. What else did I have that didn't hit yesterday? I had Florida. Didn't hit. Stupid. South Carolina. I mean, it was a bloodbath. Yesterday was a bloodbath. Matt Plavidal, what's going on? Jimbo looks like a great hire. I'll tell you, man, they definitely, if you are A&M at this point, for what you've invested in that program, for the return or lack of return you've seen, it's got to be alarming. Reagan, it pains me to think if we play a game before Florida State, we'd probably beat that team. There's some logic to behind that. There was some logic to say, look, you would have ironed out some kinks and you probably would have played a sharper game. But the flip side of it is, man, and Mark, Southern Miss did not almost upset Miami. Stop it. They were close for a quarter. Stop it. Mark's like, Sun Belt's really good. Southern Miss almost upset Miami. No, they didn't. It was not. It was a 30-7. It wasn't even close. I forgot where I was going. Anyway, Mason Siegel, Will Rogers, Jaden Daniels next weekend. Who has the edge? The way Daniels is playing, the game's at home. Rogers runs that offense really well. I did stay up. I almost made it to the end of that game. I made it into the fourth quarter of. I went to bed at 1:30, so I made it into the fourth quarter of Mississippi State against Arizona. But Will Rogers runs that offense really effectively. You just have to accept that for Mississippi State, a 4-yard pass is the equivalent of a 4-yard run, right? I mean, they throw it around. So you got to tackle well against that team. So I probably want to see a lot of Michael Baskerville next week. Trevor Falcon, what's up? Kyle DeVille. Great game against Southern. Why didn't Brian Kelly play Jenkins when he caught 2 TDs last game? Yeah, don't know. I don't know if Jure was on the field. And then you obviously, you emptied the bench in the second quarter. So I don't know. Craig Savoy, what a night for Baton Rouge. The game was a backdrop for something bigger. The power of sport bringing people together. Can't ever be understated. Fantastic night. Hats off to everyone involved. Well said. Lee McCaffrey, best takeaways from last night. What looked really good last night compared to week 1. You're asking. Special teams was clean. Jaden Daniels protected the football. Those are probably my two biggest takeaways. Trevor, Matt 100% called the quarterback competition months ago. I did. But it's all right. I mean, here are the highlights from last night. I mean, it's all right. Y'all can remember selectively what you want. Everything we ever say is recorded. Kayshawn still hasn't gotten in the end zone. Let's see. MVP goes to the fan that stood in the 10-yard line. No. I wish they would have tased that guy and beaten his face into the ground. You're a moron. Not you, Lee. The guy who did that is a moron. Like, that's not funny. It's disruptive. It's dangerous. It's stupid. Like, when people do things like that, it only leads to more regulations to prevent things like that affect everyone else's experience. So, no, it's not funny. Don't celebrate that guy. He's a moron. Daryl Ingram. Hey, Aunt Sharon. Good morning. What a great day of college football. Yes, indeed. I had a great, look, I'll tell y'all too, with my only responsibility now being whiskey and wine post game, like my weekends are so much just more relaxing and enjoyable. Eric and I went to dinner on Friday night. Drew, close the door, please. Slam the door. Good job. You got to spend the day just watching ball and playing with Drew. So, yeah, really good day yesterday.
Where's tomorrow?
Tomorrow's Monday.
Monday.
We'll come see Daddy?
Monday.
You want to see Daddy's lap? On Monday, we'll go to the new St. Lillian.
No.
Yes.
So.
On Monday, we'll go for a ride in Daddy's car to the new St. Lillian. And in 20 Mondays, we'll go see Man Brumman. Okay. Welcome back. Welcome back to the party. All right. Did you say hi to Dad Show? You say hi to Dad Show?
How's that?
Do you want to sing the Hudco Roofing song?
Yeah.
You sing it.
Oh, roofing. Oh, roofing.
When you
I want you to know what's going on until we are done. Go roofing and all go roofing. Fix it for us to sing.
Yay! Who do you see?
Mommy.
It is Mommy. Okay. Uh-oh. I don't know what he's going for. Beelining for it. All right. Shout out to Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com, and of course, Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. As we always say, if you need an orthopedist, go to Brock. If you need a roof, call Hudco. Brock, the after-hours clinic, of course, open today and always on weekends. So if you need an orthopedist after hours, you can always go check out our friends at Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, brortho.com, brortho.com, and Hudco Roofing. I'm going to go ahead and pin Hudco right there in the comments, so we would appreciate it greatly. If you just click the link, fill out the form on the homepage. We'd love to give you a free, no-obligation roofing inspection. Marquise Robinson, Matt, what are your thoughts on middle linebacker play? Mike Jones missed a lot of tackles last night. Yeah, I think Micah Baskerville needs to be your starting middle linebacker. He had 85 tackles a year ago. He was second only to Damone Clark. For 3 years now, we've seen him have a nose for the ball and make plays. He is a proven commodity at this point in his career and has to play more. He has to play more. JJ Tyler, Matt, upset last week about our season, but after watching Alabama and Notre Dame A&M, I feel better. Yeah, JJ, it's a good point. Listen, this probably didn't sit well last week, but it'll make sense now. When LSU lost to Florida State, some of you were like, they're going 0-8 in the SEC. Where are they going to win a game? Okay, well, does playing in College Station feel winnable now after App State just went and won there, looking at that offense? Does Auburn, winning at Auburn, feel doable after watching them struggle to move the football with Finley and Calzada? Does Florida look more winnable now after Kentucky went in there and managed to win without Chris Rodriguez? You know my point. You get like even Bama. Like, can you beat Ole Miss at home? Can you beat Mississippi State at home? You know what I mean? Like, you're allowed to improve, and everybody's not going to play great on every day, and so just I guess stick with it, man. Michael Richard, good morning. What do you think about the black and gold? Let's see, you got them 31-13. Yeah, I don't think we're going to see 31-13. I do have 30-20. I do think the Saints win. I think they win by 10. It was actually the same score they won by in Atlanta at the end of last season, so I'm kind of picking the same exact score. I think we'll see the same type of game. So I got the Saints 30-20. Darren Spicer, speaking of overs, OSU ASU game lost me a pretty significant play. Rain got me. Needed 1 TD, and Oklahoma State sat on the ball. Henry Gordon Bennett, A&M, I'm begging, don't fire Jimbo. He's on a 10-year contract, man. He's not going anywhere. Yeah, we did T-Bob talked about the Jimbo and Sumlin stat, 50 games in yesterday. Jeremy Sagely, Todd Harris, what's going on? Takeaways, both bands are awesome. Jeremy Fontana, what picks are we rolling with today? I don't know, Jeremy. I mean, I may need a day off today after yesterday. Yesterday was a bloodbath. I may need to just gather myself. Maybe I'll bet on the primetime game tonight, but we'll see. All right. Jump back over here to YouTube. Well, see, Levi Compton said, wish they would have put Nuss in with the first team would have been a good comparison. So first of all, Levi, that's bogus because Nussmeier was in with the first offensive line. The first offensive line was still in when Nuss was playing. Running back is largely irrelevant, and the only receiver that was not in the game when Nussmeier was playing was Kayshawn. He was still out there with Malik Neighbors, with Jack Besh, with Brian Thomas. I mean, these are all guys that have been interchangeable. So that is not a valid comment in any way. You cannot say that Nussmeier's play was because he wasn't out there with the starters, because he was out there with the first offensive line. There is no real legit starter at running back at this point, and he did have the top receivers out there except for Kayshawn, and against Southern that shouldn't matter. So no, who he was out there with had nothing to do with the interceptions he threw, the decisions he made with the ball. So no, that is a completely invalid comment. Brad, why was Notre Dame ranked so high preseason? It's because preseason rankings are stupid. Ask the same question about A&M. Trivia Carter, Desmond Howard is the kiss of death. Michael Castello, what's up? Malcolm Young Hernandez, thoughts on Eli Ricks riding the pine? Yeah, I know a lot of LSU fans are laughing at that. I mean, we've talked about it a little bit. Ricks had a back injury and basically missed all of camp. I don't know if he's even healthy right now. So, when he's healthy, he's guys, he's a projected first-round pick. Like, let's not be stupid. You intellectually know that to be true. So, Devin, I'm proud of T-Bob for not being completely unbearable for a change. Let's see. Keem Baskerville should be your starting middle linebacker. Yes, I agree. Oh, well, okay. Brad, let's see. I was thinking the same thing when you tweeted about Alabama having too much time left. Yeah. Oh, dude, it's like as soon as Texas kicked the field goal and there was a minute 29 left, I tweeted, we're all thinking the same thing. And we were all thinking the same thing. And we all knew there was an inevitability of how that game ended. Jesse Brown, morning, Matt. Wonder how many Notre Dame fans are wishing they had Brian Kelly as their coach again, and is Jimbo in trouble in College Station? So Jimbo's not in trouble. I mean, he's on a 10-year contract. He's not going anywhere, especially after the recruiting class he pulled in last year. He's recruited well enough. It was naive to think that those freshmen were going to make this team great. They've got to fix quarterback, obviously. And I hate to say this, but I think Max Johnson is going to make them better offensively because Max Johnson is better than Haynes King. So it's a little surprising that they didn't put Max in the game at all yesterday, but Max will make them better because he's a better quarterback than Haynes King. Now, I don't know if they have enough talent around him offensively to make that thing go, but he will make them better. Let's see, Baskerville might not practice well or whatever keeps him from not being the starter, but he needs to be on the field game night. Yeah, I mean, that much is evident. There's a large enough sample size to know what he is on Saturdays, and he needs to be on the field. Joseph Faltwell, any news on Adebo? I have not. No. He's out. I mean, they officially ruled Adebo out, and we were waiting to see what happened with Tyron. But he made the trip. Tyron missed practice on Friday with illness, but Adebo, Dwayne Washington, and Traquan are out. Landon Young, Michael Thomas, JT Gray, Tyron Matthew questionable, but we know Tyron made the trip. Let's see. The Brownies were very good. Big hit. Big hit. I think T-Bot liked the Brownies better than the lemon cookies.
Than what?
Than the lemon cookies. Dwayne official Joey Metke, a light worker. The high school Nuss showed up. Same Nuss we've seen forever. Y'all, when we got to watch that scrimmage, I described a play in fall camp. I described a play for y'all where LSU was inside the 10. They had 3rd and goal. The snap was wide to Nuss. He kind of corralled it. It was low. He kind of corralled it, started running. He ran backwards 30 yards and heaved it into the end zone. And I think it was Mekhi Gar. No, maybe it was Jay Ward. It was one of the defensive backs just dropped an interception, which should have been. Like, that's who he is. Like, that's who Nussmeier is right now. Like, they've got to purge that out of him, but that's what he is right now. That's why you can't play him. He doesn't make good decisions with the ball. And you know, the conversation we had so much about Nuss this whole preseason was, I never got why so many fans had convinced themselves that he was great when we literally saw him play extended action once last year. One time. It was the Arkansas game. Johnson started to play the first series. Nussmeier went in and played the rest of the game. LSU scored 13 points in an overtime game. Like, what did you see that made you think that he was going to be awesome? All the Nuss bus people. I don't get it. The Nuss bus has crashed. Jeb Whitley, Mason Taylor as an offensive threat is awesome. And I love Jay Ward. That's all. Good morning. Berkman, Rodrigue, Matt, love your show. Thanks for your input on the Tigers. All right, man. Carly Cat, what's going on? Met Jason Taylor last night. Okay. Let's see, is Matthew playing today? Haven't gotten a final word on that, but again, Tyron did make the trip. So that would lead you to believe that he is going to play. Deacon Alec Campbell, good morning. Murder Giraffe, good morning. Gulf South, Southern playing neck to start the game. Not only Southern playing neck, but Southern playing neck, but then the SEC Network, I mean, it might not have been every single bump, but it was a gratuitous amount of times that they played cameos talking outside of your neck as the bump music on the game. Bodacious 117, hope for the best for Nuss in the future. He looks too careless with the ball. Could be a really good quarterback in the future. He needs to learn to throw the ball away. Let's see. Jonathan Martin, good morning. 294 there on YouTube, 68 likes. If you would smash that like button, just take a quick second. If you're new, please subscribe up to the channel. 124 on Facebook. We appreciate y'all as well as always. Please like the page, share the post. Brian Perron, good morning. Ryan Amanda Guidry. Richie Burt, halftime show did not disappoint. I need to go. I'm sure they have it on YouTube. I need to watch it. Stephen Fry, Kentucky looked good last night. SEC dark horse. Yeah, you know, Florida week to week looked like two different teams. When I'll tell you, when Florida got the safety and they were up 16 to 7 and they had the ball, I thought, okay, this is their opportunity to go put this game away. And Richardson threw the pick, which it was more a great defensive play where the defender kind of got his hand up, batted the ball to himself. And that's really where the game swung, man. Florida had a chance to kind of put enough distance there to where Kentucky couldn't catch up, but Kentucky made the play, man. Adam Michaels, Bama was one missed tackle away from losing. Young got out of the blitz and had a monster run. Yeah. That's why he's awesome. Daniel McCall, I think I'm more worried about winning at Arkansas this year. Yeah, Arkansas is not explosive offensively, but they're very plotting and methodical. Like, I will be curious if they have to play catch up, can they do it? That's going to be the real big question on Arkansas. Like, if they have to go fast and play catch up, can they do it? Because right now when you watch them, it is just 3 yards, 5 yards, 3 yards, 7 yards, 6 yards, 3 yards. Like, just very methodical the way they move down the field. KJ Jefferson kind of just always moving forward. It's just not a lot of explosive plays. But if they need to, can they? Which that'll be interesting when that happens. Earl Lytle, good morning. So much for Bama and the points. Yeah. Hey, man, yesterday was not a great day for a lot of people, yours truly included. Richie Bird, Jimbo is terrible. He Forrest Gumped his way into his national championship with a transcendent quarterback, then left FSU in shambles. So first of all, Richie, you can't use Forrest Gumped because that's mine. I have it claimed for Ogeron. And Jimbo has a better track record than that. Like, I don't think you can say he's horrible. Because he gets credit for Jameis. He also made Christian Ponder and E.J. Manuel first rounders, and he had Jamarcus and made him a first rounder as well. So, or the number 1 overall pick. So he has recruited and coached very good quarterbacks. Clearly, with Calzada and Haynes King, he has missed. There's no question. But at Florida State, he was 83-23. Before he went 10. This is his wins at Florida State: 10, 9, 12, 14, 13, 10, 10, and then 5 and 6 his last season. So, and look at what's happened to that program since he left. A&M, he's gone 9, 8, 9, 8, another 1-1. So we'll see how they do. He just hasn't been able to break through in this conference, and I hope he never does. I mean, but he has a longer track record of success to completely discredit him. Todd Harris. Would have loved to see Walker get more snaps if you're going to burn a game toward his red shirt. No, Todd, he's not going to play. Come on, look. He's not going to play more than 4 games. Like, he's going to red shirt. That's not that shouldn't be a concern at all, Todd. Like, he'll play against New Mexico if they get up big enough. Maybe he has a chance against UAB, although UAB is a pretty good mid-major. Walker probably won't get in 4 games this year. Stephen Dufour, what's going on? Like Daniels, I don't. If LSU's ever had a quarterback as athletic as he is, yeah, dude, athletically he's special. We talked about it. I told you the 2 things that are most impressive are Daniels' running ability and Howard's release. Those skill sets are special. Charlie Cavell, what's up? Let's see, Stephen Fry, did you catch Tom Luganville's comments on Kayshawn? How he's going to destroy the LSU locker room? I did not. I didn't see that. And I haven't heard that from anybody internally. So, Chewy, Matt, I want that recipe to the brownies you made last night. That sounds amazing. Yeah, she bakes Oreos into brownies. It's crazy. Troy Allen LaFleur, have you tried Long Branch Bourbon? I'm not a big Wild Turkey fan. I'm a big McConaughey guy, so I want to give it a try. Maybe somewhere along the way. I just don't recall. Michael Adams, Adam Michaels. Were they Musso brownies? No, they were not Musso brownies. Kip Kippers. What was better than halftime? Getting to sit behind the Terrio family at the game last night. Okay, the Terrios went to the game. Good to know. Mark K, Stevenson, Latuso, Erica. I'm telling you, a lot of y'all want the recipe, the slutty brownie recipe. A lot of people want the slutty brownie recipe. Well, sure. Let's see, Cortland. I've been impressed with Daniels. He isn't just fast, he's elusive. Did you see Emory Jones pancake 20-yard? Yeah, we talked about that. I would love to see Emory play more. D, let's see, we almost got to see him with Scone and Melt last night with the terrible audio, but you held back. Why? Because the kid that's teching for us on site is brand new, and they've thrown him into a very unenviable spot where, like, he's never done this before, and now he's teching a live remote on location at a bar, post game, it's just a lot. So he's been left in an unenviable situation, but he's doing a really good job. They want the slutty brownie recipe.
Can I just say it? I have to type it. I don't type it, I just know it.
Okay.
Say it right now?
You want to wait 2 minutes or 5 minutes or 30 minutes?
Why are you being all snarky with me?
Well, what you being all, yeah, I mean.
Well, I didn't know if like this was the right time.
Well, yeah, come
I
on.
have an attitude. Excuse me.
Excuse me.
Excuse me.
Excuse me.
Excuse me. I didn't know that I would interject. If you're in the middle of something. You know what? Last night I was choking at my mom's house, and Drew, listen how good this is. Usually he laughs whenever people choke because he thinks it's funny. But last night when I was choking, he looked at me and he went, "I love you, Mommy." Like, he got nervous and he started telling me he loved me.
That's so good.
Which I thought was really good, because that means like he knew something was wrong. So I was like, "If you won't laugh at me if I ever choke to death, you'll at least be sad." Okay.
Good.
Okay, slutty brownies. There's really no recipe. You need cookie dough, Oreos, and brownie mix. And you lay the cookie dough down first, like cover up the bottom of a pan with cookie dough. And then just
it is cookie dough at the bottom. Okay.
Yeah, there's three things, yeah.
Oh.
You didn't notice that?
Well, I think somebody asked me that last night. I was like, "Oh, that just may be the way it was cooked. I didn't realize it was cookie dough."
Well, yeah, it was cookie dough. So you put, like, you cover the bottom of a pan of cookie dough.
Yeah, good call.
Then you layer it. Then you put, like, it's probably like 16 Oreos, like 4x4. No, five times 4, 20 Oreos. I don't know. Then you line the whole bottom with Oreos on top of the cookie dough, and then you make the brownie mix according to the box. So you have to add, like, water and oil and an egg or whatever to the brownie mix, and then you pour that over the Oreos. Then you bake at 350 for like 30 to 40 minutes, depending on your oven. I think I baked mine a little long. They were a little hard. I don't like them that hard. Rather a little more mushy. So I overcooked those, but they were still good. People still ate them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's it. And then, but you know what? Line your pan in parchment paper first.
Parchment paper.
That's the part you messed up on when you helped me transfer and you dropped it.
I did not mess up.
So if you line your pan in parchment paper, and then you can take it out like that after they bake and cool a little bit, so then it's way easier to cut. You're not trying to cut them in the pan. That's really hard. That's it.
Perfect.
Okay.
Steven couldn't really watch the game due to an internet outage at the camp. What's your biggest takeaway? Narrowing down O-line roster. O-line, biggest takeaway was Daniels is very clearly your starter, and they corrected a lot of their special teams snafus. We saw Javen Nicholas return kickoffs. We saw Gregory Clayton back as the punt returner. Jack Mashburn was the left wing on field goal PAT. Just a lot of that. We saw Bramlett punt twice, averaged almost 44 yards a punt. So, yeah, I think they corrected a lot of their snafus. Dwayne official. Nuss would be the starter if his decision making was better. Like, I don't understand how some of you are so stupid. Like, I don't mean to. Okay, hold on. Let me rephrase that because that was rude. I don't understand how some of you can make such a stupid comment. First of all, if his decision making was better. Well, like, the whole thing about, ifs and buts. But his decision making isn't better. And Jaden Daniels is a dynamic athlete, runner, and has more experience. All things that, against Florida State, are the reason you were even in the ball game, because he was your only offense for 3 quarters, and hasn't turned the ball over in 2 games. This isn't hard. I don't it's stunning to me, though, how some of you, like that guy, can still have this conversation. Like, it's okay to say, hey, look, I think Garrett Nussmeier has a skill set to be a really good player at some point in his career. Like, that's fine. That's good to say, and I hope that's the case. But if, based on what you saw with your own eyes last night against a SWAC school, which is, it's not a discredit to SWAC, it's just we're talking about 2 vastly different levels of competition. Like, if what you saw with your own eyes has you in any way thinking Garrett Nussmeier is ready to be a quarterback at a place like LSU, like, I can't help you. Like, you were just so entrenched in your own personal bias that, like, you can't think logically. And we just can't have a conversation. So, off you go. I'm glad that 98% of you commenting right now very clearly recognize what the reality is of this situation, which is the thing that I've been telling you for 6 months. Yeah, Pat Huseman says, happy John Emery week. That's a good point, Pat. Now, I don't know if it'll matter if the offensive line can't give these guys opportunities, but yes, I mean, that's a very notable takeaway, is that the running game is still not very good, and John Emery could make them better immediately. Joseph Fallsgraf, Cody Boudreaux, Reed Rule, fun fact, Marcus Freeman 0-3 is a head coach. Yeah, I was watching the end of that game on NBC, and they flashed the graphic that no coach had started, no Notre Dame coach has ever started 0-3 or lost his first 3 games. Until now. Time to change the graphic. Peyton MC just joined our thing, but thanks, man. Good to see you here. Scott Sparks, how about the Aggies? Excuse me, the Maggies. Austin Kidder, what's up? Yeah, the Jimbo and Sumlin thing. Nate Diaz with a submission, leaving UFC with a big win. I was bummed to see that card get shuffled the way it did. Peyton, Baskerville needs to start over Mike Jones. That's fairly obvious to me, and hopefully to the coaches as well. Tim Gautreau, Merritt Mathern. Oh, man. These are back when Drew had just walked in here. Sorry. Wow. I am so sorry. I'm so far behind on comments. What? I'm just getting to them. Are you on Facebook or on YouTube? Oh, well, that's why I was looking at YouTube. Robbie White, when Texas took the lead under 2 minutes left in the game, the live bet still had Bama money line minus 220. I thought about going a live bet at Robbie, and that goes to, you're right, they goes to tell you everything. All right, Erica, come on. Steven Jimbo isn't worth the money he's being paid. I mean, the other thing that I said whenever Jimbo got that contract and everybody melted, I said, yeah, by the time that contract's over, he'll be the 50th highest paid coach in college football. And lo and behold, look at how many Nick, Kirby, Dabo, Mel Tucker, James Franklin, Kelly. I mean, he's like 10th right now. All those guys make more than him now. Jerry Mortimat made it sound like it was a close quarterback competition. It's obvious it wasn't that close. Michael Adams. There's Michael Adams. Badger Juice. Yes, sir. Michael Adams was the guy who first sent the idea for the Badger Juice beer, which Tin Roof did. It's a honey double IPA, which is really good, man. If you're into craft beer, go check it out. Bruno Van Moore. All right, Erica, come in here if you want. Erica.
Oh, you usually got a call from me.
Well, I'm going through, there's a bajillion comments on YouTube that I haven't even gotten to yet.
Okay.
So, like, in Facebook, the comments, it only lets so many comments and they all scroll past. All right, well, grab a chair. Come on. All right, Erica's here. Ready to do some ASCII rock if you're down.
If you don't want me to.
Yes, come on. Let's see. So much for the Anthony Richardson hype train. But you see, Chance, the thing is, like, he's got that in him, right? And it's consistency may be the question, but clearly he's got it, and that's what worries you, is that he could be that guy. All right, Jerry, ASCII rock. Was it Brian Kelly's fault that Notre Dame lost yesterday to Marshall, like a lot of Notre Dame fans are claiming?
Why would it be Brian Kelly's fault?
Exactly.
I mean, is it because, like, it's kind of Ogeron's fault that we're left with the shit crew, too? Ooh, sorry. Poop. Darn.
That's what some would say. The difference is Notre Dame won double-digit games each of the last 4 seasons and were preseason number 5 in the country.
Notre Dame was? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Well, no, it's not It's not Kelly's fault, but I mean...
It's Marcus Freeman's fault.
People really like him, though.
Who?
The girls on TikTok.
Oh, I know the girls on TikTok, too.
They love them some Marcus Freeman.
He's just a 35-year-old guy that's learning on the job.
Yeah.
Chewy Gutierrez, E-Rock is the bomb.
Oh,
I would have never thought of that. Thanks for sharing.
Well, did you tell him what the name of him is? I like him just because the name is so funny.
Slutty Brownies. Although you misspelled slutty.
I had to.
I get it.
T-Bob's are prostic.
Why did you... Good word. Why did you have to... why are they slutty?
Because they're supposed to be like really dirty. Because you're eating like so many bad things. You're eating cookies, Oreos, and brownies.
Yes.
Which makes you really dirty. Like,
got it. Okay.
So that's where they came from the name. I didn't make up that name. That's a Pinterest name.
Jordan Mincer, what's up? Todd Harris, hats off to Southern. They never quit playing. Brad Rick, how did Nussmeyer beat out Miles Brennan for the number 2 spot? Brad.
Sure, my dad was Catholic. I could put up a better game. I was like wanting to record him for you because he was like, Southern has no business being on this field. Catholic could play better than Southern. I was like, Dad, stop. He was going on. Why do we even have this game?
But that's why they've never scheduled the game before.
Well,
because you were talking about like us past administrations felt like it would be negative to have that game because the result is exactly what you saw.
We didn't want him to get hurt either.
The result was always going to be what you saw. Like, just let me make the point, because there's a lot of people who wondered about this. So like, you don't.
I'm fine, just go.
Now you're pouting. You gotta let me make a point, Erica. Unless you may leave now. I think she's pouting.
I'm not pouting.
You kind of look like you're pouting. A little bit. D. All right, you're not. Okay, it's okay. Don't worry.
What?
You can go. It's because I just said D, and you're like.
D what?
What do you say when I say D?
I haven't done this in forever. I don't know. It's D's. You usually say D's, Matt. No. I didn't know what D meant.
I say D, and you say nuts.
You say D's. Nuts. Yeah.
D.
Yes.
I don't. I say D. Because he spells D-E, and then that's the first one. Okay. He said, you forgot about me?
Well, because you usually say D's.
No, it's D-E is how he spells it, is the first, and then S-N-U-T-Z is the next. So I always go D, and you go, Snuts.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I don't like getting reprimanded.
Okay. Little awkward, so I'll just move on. Joe Carpenter, what's going on? Aaron Everett. The pick six should have been enough to eliminate talk of the quarterback competition. That's true.
Look at somebody put on TikTok. Look, when your seats aren't good enough, and they have the guy, but the caption is when your seats aren't good
That
enough.
ain't funny, man.
No, it's
that guy.
no. I know it's not funny, but the caption's funny.
Rick Hauk, anyone get stuck in Alex Stadium a lot last night like me? No. John Webb, good morning. Saw a team play with purpose, fire in their veins. Helps when you win, right? Richie Burke, glad Nussmeier's pick six was not reviewed. Stat needs to be recorded so the play is not to be forgotten. That's true, and they probably should have reviewed it because it probably wouldn't have stood because he was probably down. But yes, it was a terrible play. Oh my goodness. Left at halftime, but weren't allowed to leave the parking lot until after the game ended.
At Alex Box? Yeah, I heard that.
Why? That's crazy. How do you tell someone they can't leave? That's brutal. Lee Allen, what's a good adult cocktail that pairs well with Falcon? Something cold. Adam Duce, what's going on? Bruno Van Moore, Iraq side business. Iraq slutty cookies, why not?
Slutty cookies? I don't know if they have a slutty cookie. I could probably make those into cookies though. Yeah, I like I mean, the lemon cookies are really good. Did they like that I had the sprinkles on them last night?
I didn't ask anybody about the
I mean,
sprinkles.
you can't really change the taste. Just made them a little cuter. They're really kind of ugly. So I wanted them just to be a little cuter.
Yeah, those are sneaky good cookies. I think people largely look at either the brownies or the chocolate chip, and they're like, "Oh, the lemon." But I'm like, no, don't see the lemon. I'm like, don't see the lemon.
Lemon are freaking good.
Brandon Brazel, good morning from Memphis. Those Kelly haters sure seem to be quiet this morning after the Notre Dame loss yesterday. Yes, and all of the venom and criticism spewed at Brian Kelly this week will now be spewed at Jimbo and Marcus Freeman and Scott Frost and
Napier.
Who?
What's his name? Napier?
I'm sorry, did you say Napier?
What's his name? The Florida coach. That was from Lafayette.
The Florida coach, Billy Napier.
What is his name?
It's Billy Napier.
Napier. Okay, I was putting the accent on the wrong part. Napier? Napier. Napier sounds a little more fancy.
Napier.
Yeah.
Napier. Jerry says, E-Rock, good morning. Or said morning Scone is PG language only, LOL.
I know, I forget.
E-Rock,
Sorry.
Robbie White, E-Rock's busting out the potty mouth early.
I mean, I just said the S word, people. It's not like I really curse.
Barry LeBeau, Scone, stronger this year, SEC East or West.
Oh, I have a potty mouth story about last night, too.
Yeah, probably the East, man. Like I would go Georgia, Kentucky, Tennessee, Florida. Yeah, I mean Vandy and Missouri are awful. So like the bottom of the, I think the bottom of the East is worse than the bottom of the West, but the first five I'd probably go East over West. Chris Andropon, good morning. They did show Denbrock a lot. Let's see. All right, if y'all have Ask E-Rocks, fire away. I'm kind of stuck in a. Let's see. I went to the very bottom of the YouTube. There's like 100 YouTube comments that I hadn't gotten to yet, so that's my fault. You can ask Eric anything about anything. So if you want to fire away, fire away. What?
Sorry.
Are you doing?
Sorry.
Jordan Menser, he will be forever Coach Napier. Thank you so much.
Doesn't it sound fancy though?
It's like Billy Napier, the Texas A&M Maggies. This is what people get for watching this show.
It's like the difference in drinking your emergency in a cup or in a fancy glass.
No.
Yeah, it is.
No.
If you add a little bit of like accent to a word, it makes it way more fancy. Put you in a different class.
Larry Connor, until proven otherwise, I worry about Dennis Allen's defense against any read option or mobile quarterback. Okay. That's fair. I just don't worry about Marcus Mariota. The Saints should have no problem today because, I mean, if Cordero Patterson is your running back and you don't have anybody other than Kyle Pitts to throw the ball to, you bracket Pitts and you make you make Demir Bird beat you. I mean, let's see.
Did you see this Tech?
What?
Louisiana Tech soccer play during the football game?
Huh?
There's a play from the Louisiana Tech game last night that went like, it basically was soccer. You gotta watch it. It's like they.
That wasn't last night. That was like 5 years ago.
Well, it's still funny. How do you know exactly what I'm talking about? You're like a savant. You're so weird. I gave you hardly any description.
Because it went like 3rd and 93. They kicked the ball all the way back to the goal line. Because it was the famous play when it happened.
I know everything. It is aggravating.
Whew.
So wait, let me tell you this curse story. So last night, my dad was trying to get Drew to curse. Like my dad was like, D-A-M-N, if you can't say it on the show, like Southern, because they did something good. And so then, of course, he said it again, looking at Drew for Drew to repeat it. And so Drew does it. And my mom's like, Barry. And then Drew goes, Southern. Like, Drew started using other curse words.
Oh,
no. Because he knew, like, it was like, I'm like, Drew, that's very smart of you. Like, it was funny because he actually knew, but then he stopped. I mean, I was like, he's going to go to school on Monday saying that. He's not going to school.
He's not going to school.
But anyway, just funny that, like, he knew after he said the first curse word, thanks to his father, he knew to say the second one and put a different one in front of it. So anyway, it was funny. What?
I can't read that name.
Why?
It's not morning Scone appropriate. I think your two starting linebackers need to be Baskerville and Perkins. I would probably have Penn over Perkins, but I'd have Perkins in a rotation for sure. Let's see. What's going on with Cardell Thomas? I've been answering Cardell Thomas questions for 3 years now. Like, at what point do you all understand or acknowledge he's not a good football player? Like, I don't want to.
There's a Saints game today.
I know. I knew. Fired up against the Falcons.
Oh my God! I'm leaving the house.
Okay, good.
Ugh. Do people understand how you are?
Yeah, they see the Scone Thomas thing. It's almost time, you're right.
It's awful. I'm dreading it. I think I already have a stomach ache.
I'm gonna bust out my headband.
I'm already sick.
Of God
I'm
headband.
already nervous.
Let's go.
I'm gonna slip some Xanax in your breakfast. Some Clonidin. I am. You need to calm it down. Those games are critical.
I want to be. I don't want to be critical of any college athlete. Just very candidly, Cardell Thomas is a guy who was a 350-pound lineman playing 1A ball who ran over people. So he got a very high star rating when he went. So everyone got to know him because he had a 5-star rating. He went to the elite camps and really struggled against other elite prospects. So his star rating dropped to 4, and then he went from like a top 10 player to like a top 100 player around there. And he's just very top heavy. If you look at him, he is all weight in his upper half. And he's just not a very athletic big man, and at this level you have to be. So there's a reason why he hasn't played a bunch. It's a situation where when you have a guy from your city that's that highly regarded and recruited, you have to recruit him and take him. But like, I'll tell you, it's similar with Ishmael Sopsher. Like, they had to recruit Ish Sopsher because he was a 5-star defensive lineman from A-Meet, but they didn't want him because they didn't think he was that good of a player as it's panned out. It was the same with Hootie Jones. They wanted Jamal Adams. So it wasn't really a big deal when they didn't get Hootie Jones because they wanted Jamal Adams, which they got and worked out. So.
How do you spell Hootie?
H-O-O-T-I-E. Anyway, like, respect to the kid for continuing to work hard, sticking it out, battle through an injury, all that sort of stuff. But I say it often, man, if you're year 3 and you haven't cracked a rotation, you're probably not gonna, because, I mean, look, they had to go and bring in a couple of transfers this year. Emory Jones is playing ahead of him right now. It's what it is. Dat Cajun, Kayshawn needs to give up number 7. Dat Cajun might be trying to trigger me today.
Please don't fall for this.
No. He might be trying to trigger Ryan Rogers, is E-Rock mad at Ryan for saying she doesn't do anything? Ooh.
Excuse me?
That's what you didn't hear that 2 weeks ago. That's what we talked about.
No.
He's like, I shouldn't really do anything anyway. Like, I know. That's why it was a troll because I forget what we were talking about. It was like 2 weeks ago. I was like, oh, you just ruined a 30-year friendship with that one, blah, 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 blah.
Don't do anything.
You'll have to go back and watch it for context, but that was the point.
Yeah.
Tate Granger, wow, dude, don't even know your wife's brownie recipe. Why would I know my wife's brownie recipe? Do I look like someone who's hanging out baking on Saturdays?
I don't think Marcus Raymond's hot, by the way. I'm looking at him right now. Why not?
Okay.
His wife is beautiful. She's hot.
Let me see.
Well, I don't have a picture of her up, but she's very pretty. I've seen pictures of her. They have like 12 kids.
I saw his family story. His dad was in the military, and I think maybe he was in Vietnam and married a Vietnamese woman.
She's very pretty.
Like really fascinating, like family story. Maybe Vietnam, maybe Korea. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I've seen their family picture before. They do have a lot of kids.
Yeah.
Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4. They have 6 kids. Wow. That's a lot of kids.
The Flints.
Oh, yeah, the Flints, yeah.
Oh my God, how do people do this? Look at those poor wives. And I'm like, how do you function? Seriously.
With 6 kids?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I would get 1 kid. I mean, I would like 2, but I couldn't do more than 2. But 6? I mean, that's a lot of children. People. It's a lot of people.
Clifford Moore wonder if Desmond Howard changes preseason champion. Right there. He'll forever be Coach Napier. That's so good. Oh, man. Okay, let's see.
Yeah, I'm gonna go lay down if nobody wants to talk. No offense, but
Ken McAllister, I have 6. That's
he has 6 kids.
well. That's Coach Ken who coached me baseball. Like his twins, Kenny and Kelly, went to MBS in our class as well. So yeah, they have 6.
Oh,
I mean, they're
of his own.
well,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, just some blended
No,
families.
I know, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
So let's see. Their youngest is Casey. Casey was the bat boy on our team. So Casey's got to be in his 30s now, mid 30s now.
yeah, that's a lot of children. Usually with like most, I mean, so I don't know if but like Flints have twins, so maybe 6 because you accidentally had a twin, or not accidentally, but you know.
Chris Jarrell, there's no difference between Freeman and Aranda, both defensive coordinators, no head coaching experience. Yeah, Chris, but the difference is Notre Dame is a much more high-profile job than Baylor. So it's like Baylor can afford to take a chance on a first-time head coach. Notre Dame shouldn't. That was always my point with Orgeron. Like, LSU was at a point in its program where it didn't need to take a chance on a well, I mean, Orgeron had been but a failed head coach who was not only failed, like it was a massive failure as a head coach at Ole Miss. Like LSU didn't need to take that risk. So that was my point. And look, Kirby was a first-time head coach. So it sometimes it works, but then again, Will Muschamp got his first head coaching opportunity at Florida, and that bombed out spectacularly. I would say more often than not, it doesn't work. Jaden Daniels could light up Mississippi State for 300 yards, 4 touchdowns, 70% completions, no turnovers, and his haters would still nitpick his performance. Yeah. Brambo, morning. Yesterday was fun. It gets real this week. That's true. Ryan Rogers asked Ski-Rock, what's your favorite adult beverage?
I love a good cocktail. Like, I had a very good cocktail at Jubin's the other night. It was like a watermelon something.
A watermelon something?
Tasted like a Charms blow pop. Like it was so good. So I like anything, well, first of all, fruity and clear. Nothing brown. No Burby or Burby.
Burby. No Burby. She does not like Burby.
Bourbon or whiskey. So anything clear, like vodka based, or wine, anything bubbly. I love bubbles. I love bubbly stuff. Bubbly. So yeah.
Oh.
But I like a good mixed cocktail. And then for after dinner, I want I want Bailey's on the rocks with a lot of rocks. That little chocolatey something. That's like what I'd have instead of dessert. But
Charlie Cavell is the youngest of 9.
oh,
There were 2.
my gosh.
He said there were 2 families in school that had 18.
No way. There's no way no woman had that many kids. No.
No. Awesome dude, Jim Woodworth, who is the owner of Mold Zero, they're a new sponsor on AFR, so shout out. Jim is one of the most fascinating guys you'd ever meet. He's from California, very, very like devout Catholic family growing up, and he's like one of 13.
That's insane.
It's just, I know it, but anyway, he's Air Force, lived all over the country and world. He's a fascinating dude. Like, I had lunch with him, and the first time I met him, and I just like asked him questions for like an hour and a half about his family and his life. So fascinating dude. But yeah, he's one like huge family. All right. Any other questions? By the way, so 300 watching on YouTube, which is awesome. 124 likes. If you're new, thanks for finding the channel. Please subscribe up to the channel. Hit the red subscribe button and smash the like button if you would. You could always just drop questions, comments in the chat. For those that are new, Erica is my wife. Sometimes hangs out here with us on weekends. We do Ask E-Rock, where you could ask her anything about anything, and usually she gives you creative answers that are unintentionally funny. That
creative. There's some answers.
I'm just trying to be polite here.
What are you saying, dumb?
Huh?
You trying to say like not good answers? Well,
that's not.
How's creative mean polite? There's answer questions.
Yep. Trivia Carter, of course.
I was like, where is trivia?
Of course, Ask E-Rock when I'm out driving.
Trivia, well, if you can type that, you can type a question. Or do voice to text. But those usually get me in trouble, because every time I do a voice text, they come out wrong.
Jay Maggio, rolling on the floor laughing on your face when you were letting the wife talk.
You were letting me talk.
Or when you were talking, whatever my facial expression was. I don't know.
Probably annoyance, because I feel like all I'll do is annoy you. And so I got quiet earlier. You look so annoyed with me. I don't want to come in here and look at, like, I don't want to feel like you're being annoyed. I don't like annoying people. Like, you know what I mean.
Matt Lusto, you get that shirt at Bengals and Bandits. I think this did come from Bengals and Bandits. Probably.
Yeah, that's a shirt. That shirt is so old. I'm surprised it doesn't have holes in it.
It does. I think up here on the thing.
Yeah, because it's that burnout material anyway.
Yeah. I need some new stuff.
Drew needs some new stuff.
Trivia Carter, post Saints game show?
No.
Maybe.
No. People don't understand.
If the people wanted Erica.
The people don't understand what it makes the house like.
What if they win? They're gonna beat the Falcons. They're 5.5-point favorite today. If they lose, if they lose today, Erica. If they lose today.
See, that's where I am. That makes it so not fun for me. I live here. I live with you. I live in this house with you. It makes my midnights miserable. I can't talk. Can't be happy. I can't laugh. I just gotta like zombie-fy in this house. It's miserable. Thank God Eli has football games today and I can go to that.
Oh, good. That's great.
But what time does this thing start?
Noon.
Meltdown? Noon? Okay. Oh, his games aren't until 2:30.
Trivia Carter, Ask E-Rock, what's up with my yearly birthday, Drew birthday gear?
They actually are still in the pantry. They need to be shipped. They're coming. They're coming your way. It's been busy around here, Trivia. I've been super busy. What?
Coach Kent said his twins were definitely an accident.
You know what I mean? Like usually people with 6 kids, there's a twins in there somewhere. Like
That happened to Alicia, my sister. They had 2. They were trying to decide, do we go try for a third, whatever. They finally decided to try for a third. Boom, twins. Now they got 4. 2 to 4 in a blink. Whew.
Yeah, but I'm saying 6. Like when you do
No,
6,
I know what you mean.
Like 4 is not nearly like 6 is a year ruled.
Really optimistic about the secondary. If the defensive line was wrapping up against Florida State, could have had at least 2 more sacks and 1. Yeah, that's true. I mean, they just didn't tackle well against Florida State. But a lot of that was Jordan Travis. He credit him. Georgiadis. How about that? Grown fond of your show. As a Jameis fan, glad I have a reason to continue to follow you. Nice get back. Brian Kelly would figure that thing out. Yeah, go Knowles. Ogeron was always a placeholder. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. A good family man does not mean you can coach Notre Dame. That's true. Let's see. Ashley Megan. E-Rock needs a segment for Oreo brownies.
Just my Oreo brownies?
My neighbors have 7 kids.
No.
They all play different sports. Their
Yeah.
washer and dryer run 25/8 366 instead of 24/7 365, like even more. She
Oh
said,
yeah. I was like, yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's insane. Wow. Well, they're blessed with. See, that's nice that they're gonna have lots of grandkids and somebody's gonna take care of them, and then I'll get all emotional, so I don't want to talk about it.
When you let the players pick the head coach, that's why Freeman happens.
The players didn't pick him.
Sometimes, I'm trying to tell you, Notre Dame's weird, bro. Notre Dame culture is a weird, it's a different place, man. Like, it's just different. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, they went with who was the popular choice, not necessarily a sensible choice. Cole Adams, is your wife getting paid? She brings good humor to your show.
Thanks, Cole. No, I'm not. Actually, I'd like a sponsor or two. I need to get paid to supplement my Catholic school's salary.
I mean, there's all kind of fairies that float around here that...
Well, nail fair didn't busy yesterday, that's for sure. I even checked your money clip for a tip. There wasn't enough in there. Okay. Yeah.
You were trying to steal my
I was
cash?
going to ask you, but then I wasn't going to ask you if there wasn't even enough cash in there for my
You
tip.
took my...
No, I was going to if there was no 20s. You had no 20s in there, so I didn't even ask. So then you couldn't say, like, I saved that asking for another time because there was no 20s. You carry some more cash on you. So now fair didn't visit yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jay Redmond, game day, let's go. Who dat?
Saints game days are stressful for me. They're not fun. I don't enjoy them. I dread them.
Mark Hammond, I agree, Matt. But big programs like USC, Notre Dame, LSU should not be taking chances on first-time head coaches. Andre Trahan or Trahan? Hey, Matt, what was your take on the O-line play? I know it was Southern. Seems like the right side looked better. I thought it was certainly better in that Daniels wasn't under constant duress. I don't know if that the run blocking was any better, which is a little concerning, quite honestly. Let's wait and see how the grades come out. But the fact that Charles, I mean, you had 2 snap infractions basically where the whole line was moving and Charles Turner didn't snap the ball. That goes to show like there's a timing issue with a new center. Some of that stuff I didn't love to see. Will Campbell looked great, vastly improved from last week, which not surprising, right? I mean, the level of competition dropped dramatically, and he looked great. So I would suspect he'll keep getting better and better and better.
Our kicker made every field goal, every extra point.
Yep.
Well, was our line better, or whatever, our line better not getting blocked?
Correct.
Okay. Was it? No, seriously.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Gregory Gordy, good morning. Trivia Carter, ask E-Rock, why do you hate the Saints?
Oh, I don't hate the Saints trivia. I actually probably would like the Saints if I didn't live with Matt. The problem is Matt gets far too emotionally invested in these games. During an LSU game, he doesn't talk, which is so nice. So he's like, if he's mad,
Because I'm charting the whole game.
Why don't we chart the Saints games?
Because I don't have to chart
Well,
the Saints game.
might
I'm not doing a
need you to.
post-game show.
I might need you to start doing that. Because during the Saints games, there's a lot of anger. And people don't see that in you. And you don't want people to know about that. You do have some... You have some problems.
Erica, I'm an 8 on the Enneagram. I'm in the gut triad.
How did we get paired up? I don't know.
8s and 2s are actually very similar.
Well, no, we're not. No, we're not. No.
It's just how we process things, but it doesn't mean we're different in the sense that like 8s have a line to 2s. So when I'm high functioning, I'm kind of like I have 2 qualities. Like I'm very kind.
Yeah.
Are you going to disagree with that?
No, you are very kind.
That's the point. We just express things very differently.
But you get angry.
We express things very differently. That's
But
because
that's
I'm in the
the
gut. I'm in the gut triad.
Well, where am I? In the heart.
Feeling.
Yeah.
Feeling.
Yeah.
There's thinking, feeling, and doing. I'm a doer too. You're a feeler.
I don't like when you get angry. I don't like anger.
But I do. That's how I react to things. I can't help it.
You could help some of these reactions, Matt. You could.
Ashley Megan, Baylor also lost to a ranked team. Notre Dame lost to Marshall. Baylor straight up does not care about football. I live in Waco, and I had to go to my kid's barber shop to chop it up at the Sugar Bowl. Baylor. So that's where Dave Aranda is. So that was kind of the point about like the first-time head coaches, right?
Yeah.
So like Baylor could hire Dave Aranda as a first-time head coach because there's just not as big of an emphasis on football as a place like Notre Dame or LSU, where it's just harder to justify taking that big of a risk on a first-time head coach like Marcus Freeman at Notre Dame. Like, it's not going well, and it's kind of obvious.
But is he not calling good plays? Like, what's the problem?
Getting his team ready to play, scouting. I mean, all that sort of stuff goes into a game week. Getting ready to play a game. There's Besh. Besh did the gritty. Besh hit the gritty.
Oh, you saw how mad Saban was?
Yeah, Baskerville with the pick six.
Saban was so mad at his players. And then, after he yelled at him for doing it over the guy down at the last play, then they were doing it going into the locker room and all the fans. I mean, I don't want to be at their practice. They are going to get in so much trouble.
I know.
They're going to run, till they can't run.
So much trouble.
They are going to be...
Scott.
Matt, seriously.
I know. Scott
Did you hear
said...
that? I'm sorry. I'm still on this subject.
Scott says, Matt, you were right about Daniels Nussmeier all along.
See, you interrupted me just so you could read a comment saying
I'm trying to move along, Erica. You got to keep it moving. I've done one.
Did you talk about Saban's horns down punishments yet?
This is 1,632 shows. I feel like I know the audience pretty well and what pace I have to go and read people's comments and all that sort of stuff. Like, I just feel I know what I'm doing here. I can watch the viewership, when people are dropping off. I can watch when comments are coming, engagement. Like, I know how to keep it moving. Erica, I've been doing this show every day for 4 years. I know the audience at this point. Andre Trahan. Notre Dame is quiet now. D.
It's nuts.
C.
Well, you just scolded me earlier.
Ask E-Rock.
I was focused on that tree outside when you did that.
What are the Mosconas dressing up for as Halloween?
Good question.
Oh, you know how to push that button.
I continue to ask.
Oh my goodness.
From Matt, he gives me zero. You think I've thought about that at all? And I'll be like, I'll bring it up, and the next day I'll be like, so have you come up with anything? Do you think I've actually thought of that? Like, it's so dumb. No, it's
dumb.
It's not dumb.
I know what I'm going as. I'm going as a 40-year-old radio show host.
No. So the thing is, D's, we need a
D.
I like D's. Thing is, Drew functions best in like an all-in-one, like a jumpsuit costume, because it's not big and bulky. So I need something that's an all-in-one. I need something that has no headpiece, no head accessories. He's not going to wear a hat or a helmet or a furry thing or glasses or anything. So we need something that you don't have to identify the character neck up. You know the character is neck down, right? So, and we need something that goes together. So we thought maybe cops and robbers. So Drew would be the policeman. Matt and I would be the robbers. So we'd be like jailmates. You don't like that idea? Or Maverick is very hot right now, so he could be like a fighter pilot, and we could be his, fighter pilot friends.
Cops and robbers. Sounds like role play, Erica.
Well, he's the cop.
Never mind.
So anyway, so maybe Matt, maybe Top Gun pilots, but then we're just like extra pilots. We're just the extras.
E-Rock just told on herself.
Why? Why?
I don't know. That was about the money. That was about you taking my money. Maybe Saban should be forced to coach Notre Dame.
I mean, he's such a good
Jay Massey is Warren Easton that good. I listened to some of the Catholic Warren Easton game. I think Warren Easton's got a really good offense. So, Michael Thacker, how do you grade improvements when you're going up against an inferior team? Yeah, that's great. Like, that's where you just want to execute what you're supposed to do. It's like it's a two-sided conversation, right? Where if you play an inferior team, should you be happy when you do things well, or more displeased if things go badly? Like, that's obvious, right? If you don't execute against a team that's physically inferior. But the other thing too is there are things that are correctable, like blocking down on your field goals and PATs, protecting the football. Like, some of those things are fielding punts. Like, those things are obvious, which they did. Eric Bruce, can we replace Ryan with your wife on Fridays?
No, everybody loves Ryan. People get sick of me. I just do this like once a month.
Trivia. Ask E-Rock, would you punch a dolphin
if
it keeps Matt from getting upset because of football games?
Trivia? I'm considering that. Because I don't like angry people. When situations get tense, or anybody, I get very nervous. And so to think that that's your husband, who you never see like that, but then the Saints come on and it totally takes over his personality, it's not settling. So yes, I think I would actually punch a dolphin if it meant Matt didn't lose his mind during the Saints game.
Brad David, where were you on 9/11? Today's 9/11.
Oh, I was in class at LSU.
Yeah, me too.
Turkey was going to the vet. I actually remember taking her. We were like watched it at the vet. Like we were watching coverage with Dr. Stevens. It was awful.
My parents were in New York.
I know.
It was crazy. It was wild. My dad had a conference. They were at the Marriott Times Square, and they were going to the World Trade Center that day.
I know.
It's so weird. Like my dad had morning meetings, and then that afternoon they were going to the World Trade Center. Like literally on 9/11. Like it's a super like bizarro alternate world reality story to think about sometimes. Let's see. We had no quarterback the whole last half of the season. We'll do it to you. Last year, yeah. Austin Kidder. Emily calls me out for stuff too, Matt. Our wives keep us humble.
I don't keep you humble. You don't listen to anything I say.
That's true.
Austin Kidder. Sorry, Austin Kidder. They ain't the same way in our house.
Mark Hammond, I think Notre Dame incoming recruiting class factored in the Freeman hire. Well, you should never hire a coach because of a recruit or a recruiting class. Hotel Alpha Whiskey Kilo Run 666. Awesome dad, Matt. Thank you. That's very nice. You said it was an awesome dad.
That's very nice.
Trivia Carter ask E-Rock. When Coach Kelly coming over for dinner?
Well, I don't know about Coach Kelly, but I sure am getting close with the other coaches. I'll just say that.
Oh, you're getting close with the other coaches?
You know what I mean? Stop.
You getting close with the other coaches?
God, Matt, stop.
What's that supposed to mean?
Right.
What's that supposed to mean?
Not sure trivia, but I do know the other coaches a little bit, and I'm making my way toward Kelly.
There are several.
I don't know if we can say that.
I wasn't gonna say names.
Okay. All right, maybe you can. I don't know. I don't think it's a secret.
There are several staff members who have children who go to school where Erica works. That's all. And Erica runs carpool, and so she sees some of them in carpool.
And I am highly impressed with the involvement of these dads, because they are very, very involved in their children's lives. And I know they're very, very busy. So it says a lot about their character. And I have a lot of respect for them, as much as our entire staff.
Asky Rock, any battles lately?
Yeah, constantly. I've got bruises all over me right now. I don't know why. What?
Please clarify for people who are watching who don't know.
I said I don't know why. I wouldn't say because you hit me. I said because I don't know why. That's what you want me to clarify. I run into things constantly. The corners of things, like the corners of any type
Erica
of furniture.
is very clumsy. She does bump. Like, so Trivia always, for those that are new, don't know, Trivia asks any battles. He's like, any battles with the floor or things like whatever.
Yeah, no, I'm very like, I'm always quick to do, like I'm always just in a hurry. So like not, my depth perception might be a little off. I might need glasses or something because I don't realize how close I am to things and I hit it. And I get big bruises everywhere. I'm using bio oil.
Curling iron.
Oh yeah, burns all the time, but I'm using bio oil, which is like this oil you use. It makes your skin way better so it doesn't look so nasty. So like bruised up and stuff.
Read Rule ask E-Rock favorite SEC road trip.
I mean, we went to I don't really do road trips, but we had fun at in Atlanta. Whenever we go to Atlanta, for those aren't really games that we're playing people, but it's like not that team. Why did we go to Atlanta? We weren't ever playing the Georgia's people, right?
They were either for SEC championship.
Yeah.
We went back when they played North Carolina in 2010.
So like the kickoff game in Atlanta.
We've done that. We've gone to Dallas for games.
Yeah, but I mean, other than that, like
we went to Bama. You and I went to Bama. We were dating.
Yeah.
It was 2009. The Patrick Peterson interception on interception game. Scott, Matt, what went through your head when you saw the Nussmeier pick six? I mean, I wasn't surprised. Like, what went through my head? I mean, I actually thought he was down, but. Joey Metke, Matt, I don't know if you mentioned this, but did you watch the interview with Coach O about being fired and joking about it? I didn't watch it. My wife saw me and told about it. I did see it. He was at the Little Rock Touchdown Club. Whatever. I mean, it's when you're in that setting, it's you loosen the tie. You're supposed to be fun and tell stories and be funny. It's just a different vibe. So I mean, I if you were to take it literal, it would say all he really cared about was the money and not winning. I don't really believe that that's the case. I think he wanted his money. I know he wanted his money on the way out. But Yeah, it's whatever. Ashley Megan, I can't stand Texas, but I couldn't believe they threw horns down after they barely won. Oh, Bama was doing that? They were doing horns down?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to tell you earlier when you weren't wanting to listen.
Trivia, ask E-Rock, how's the school year going?
It's
Anybody name you get wrong yet?
Oh, lots of them. But it's fantastic. It's going great. We just busy. It's busy because you know what? I'll tell you, the last 2 years, parents were so happy that we were open for COVID and we were taking their children every day. So really just functioning through COVID. And now it's back to where like it's just busy. Like it's nonstop. So for Ryan, who thinks I do nothing, I'm actually answering emails at midnight because I don't get to answer them during the school day because I don't have time to go sit at my computer and answer emails during the day. So it's extremely busy and tiring. Like by Friday night, I pass out. But it's been a good year. It's just been busy.
Charlie Broussard, dolphins are a-hole animals anyway. I'd punch them off for nothing.
Why? Charlie?
I think they are.
Whoa.
I think dolphins have their reputation of being a-holes. I think they do.
Do they hurt people?
I think so, yeah. And other fish and all kinds of stuff. They're like
They hurt other fish?
They're kind of a-holes, yeah. Dolphins kind of.
Punching them then for sure.
Elijah Brown, biggest takeaway from last night. Quarterback is settled. It's not even a question anymore.
He's a happy guy too.
Who?
Our quarter, Jaden.
Jaden?
Yeah, I have a happy athlete. I like whenever they're happy. Like Kamara, he's always happy. He's got big teeth. I love his teeth. They shine.
Who's got the grill? Kamara's got a grill.
But he's always smiling. So I think that's important. He looks confident too, I think.
Trivia, you know, E-Rock, if you punch the same dolphin for millions of dollars, Matt would be help all the time? Or maybe I'd be able to help all the time? If you punch the dolphin for millions of dollars, Matt would be able to help all the time?
Help what?
Maybe it seemed like it wouldn't have to work or something, I don't know.
Oh, true, yeah.
Danny Braywick, my sister's birthday is 9/11, mine's 8/29.
Wow.
Katrina, wow.
Wow.
Trivia, E-Rock has replaced Will Wade.
I mean, love some Will Wade.
Gregory Gordy, Matt, tell us about the
wow.
items behind you. Any cool stories? There's a lot of items behind me.
Your wife is behind you. Cool story is her wedding dress detaches and becomes a short dress.
Oh, it's not. Well, I'm in the way of that picture.
Oh.
So if I move, you could see it. Yes, that's. Well, now you can't really see because of the lighting.
Right, you still look like.
Wedding picture, Drew. That's a picture of me and Jim Taylor wearing his Super Bowl I ring. Jim Taylor, former LSU Packers running back. He was wearing his Super Bowl I ring from the Packers. So I was like, "Is that your Super Bowl I ring?" He's like, "You have to put this on." So I did take a picture. I think E-Rock framed that. Some awards and stuff, whatever. Dear Drew, that's the thing I wrote for Drew when he was in the hospital. I journaled every night for all those months, and that's Matt on the mound when I threw the first pitch at Alec Box. Baseball sung by the 2000 College World Series team. Stuff. 16 penalties. You say me getting too old to discipline the team. No, it's one of them days. Ask E-Rock, what's your favorite Pearl Jam song? On a field here. No, you hate Black.
Yeah, I like sweet ones. I like soft songs. I like rocking out stuff.
Darian Glaze, LSU Notre Dame Bowl game end of the year. Why did WH even play last night? Oh, Walker Howard. Because you can play 4 games and still maintain a red shirt. So they were just getting him in the game. No problem with that. Let's see. Ashley, I think yesterday showed we can beat teams who we were really worried about last week. That's my big takeaway. I agree with that. I mean, but I think I left last week still feeling that, but I think a lot of fans didn't. There was a lot of where's a game you can win. Well, now I think you can look at A&M, at Florida, at Auburn, at Ole Miss and go, yeah, man, those are winnable games. Kenneth McAllister, 40-year-old radio show host. That's hilarious. That's what go ask, Erica.
Not funny.
What amount of money would coerce either of you to run out on the field?
None.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. Bruce East, ask E-Rock. Erica, blink twice if you need help.
What?
Because your Bruce is. That's why you have to clarify, because people are going to assume, like.
No way assumes that.
BB12. because it's good for a quarterback to get. Oh, okay. Hanny makes all these guys look like they're running in slow motion. Huh? Hanny? Like Charles Handgriff? Makes people look like they're running in slow
I
motion?
think that's a joke.
Logan Elrod, NFL locks. Not today, man. I took a beating yesterday. Our picks yesterday did not do well.
Oh, really?
Really bad. Cortland Jacob, what's going on? The Pirates, State usually practice Sunday night at 6 o'clock. They cancel practice due to the team not being able to get to sleep until the day at 11. Yes, I made it till 1:30 last night. I tried to wake you up on the couch.
You did?
I tried.
I was mad because I woke up and you didn't try to wake me up.
I tried. I was like shaking your
text me?
arm. Yes. Shaking your arm. I was like, grab your foot was out of the blanket. I was like
You
shaking your
didn't
foot.
think something was wrong with me then?
No, you were breathing. But I tried to get you up. Because I gave him his meds at 1:30 and I was like, letting you know I was going to bed. And I was like shaking your arm and your foot and your leg. And I was like, babe, and I was like, Erica.
What's
I was shaking.
wrong with you? Should have
And you did not move. I was like, well, I'm just gonna let her sleep. I figured you'll wake up eventually, come into bed. When did you wake up?
Late.
When?
4.
See?
There was
You
a prick
were
in my neck.
you were out.
Such
I'm telling you, you were out.
I know. You should have woken me up.
Lil Boosie's watching.
No, he's not.
It says Lil Boosie.
That's not him.
What do you think about what we saw from Nuss? What we saw from Nuss is exactly what I told you we're gonna see from Nuss. He doesn't protect the football. Will we see more Baskerville or Mike Jones the rest of the season? You could play in both, but Baskerville's got to be on the field. MSU's third best team left on your schedule. No. I think Bama, Tennessee, and Florida are all better. Arkansas is better. Like, this is definitely a winnable one for LSU. But I don't think LSU can, like, scribble a W next to any of them. But this is definitely a winnable one. I think the head coach lost his locker room after last night. I don't know who you're talking about. E-Rock. Clint says, E-Rock, how do I get my wife interested in sports when she has zero interest? We grew up differently. Athletic house versus an all-academic house growing up.
I mean, I don't really have a choice. I'm not saying, like, poor me, but, like, I was like, oh, do you watch such and such? I'm like, no, I don't watch anything. I have Drew and I have Matt. So like,
I know. I'll answer. Clint, you have to get her not interested in the game, but the people. It's the Olympics, right? Nobody watches Olympic sports except for every 4 years when the Olympics come around. Well, how did we get people interested in the Olympics? When you watch NBC's coverage, they tell you like stories of the people. So you become invested in the people. So that's what you have to do. You have to get her emotionally invested in the people, either player or coach, something like that. David Ezernak, were you disappointed in the rush defense? No, I mean, look, when they were playing in the first half, it was oppressive. I mean, it took Southern 2.5 quarters to get a first down. Ryan Bouguet asked E-Rock, what is our signature dish when Coach Kelly comes over for dinner? Trey Fisher, good morning, my people.
Good morning, Fish. Well, here's the trick. I won't be cooking. It'll be my dad. Because my dad is the best cook on the planet. And so I'll have my dad cook something, which probably will be like something, probably like crab etouffee with like fish on the side. I'll do the dessert because I'm a good dessert cook. So yeah, something very Southern Cajun, But yeah, it won't be me because I don't really cook food. I cook a lot of apps and a lot of desserts.
Nathan, Nikki DeMoss, Matt, remember I asked you yesterday if App State had a chance. I do remember that. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. I mean, look, App State gave up 63 last week to North Carolina. I mean, the fact that A&M could not move the ball against them was stunning, and that was not a fluke. I mean, I watched that game. A&M got pushed around at the line of scrimmage. App State had an 18-play, 9-minute drive. It was stunning. It was stunning to watch. Charlie Cavell, my wife Denise is killing herself laughing. Total agreement with E-Rock. I grind LSU and Saints games. As my friends say, for Cavell, it's personal.
It's bad. I don't enjoy it.
Nicholas Alexander asks E-Rock, final score of the Saints Falcons game?
I don't know. 21-17. Saints better win. I'm not coming in for me last football games today. Just go stay with my parents.
Okay. Gregory Gordy, any updates on recruits? Nah, I don't think so. Not that I know anyway. They had a bunch of them yesterday. All right. Oh, Charlie Broussard, my sister makes those slutty brownies for Thanksgiving and Christmas every year. Those things are dangerous.
Yeah, they're good.
All right, I think we're done. MSU running back enter transfer portal LSU interest. Well, I don't know which running back, and it wouldn't matter because you can't transfer and play this year. And LSU's got 2 high school running backs committed for this coming class. So I think they'll probably be good on numbers there. Oh, Lord. Okay. That's Apuaika. He was at LSU. And then Ed Orgeron decided they didn't really need a big run-stuffing defensive lineman. Okay. All right, y'all. It's we're done. Thanks so much for being here. As always, shout out to Brock, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, HUDCO Roofing, HUDCOroofing.com. Do business with someone you know. You need an orthopedist, go to Brock. They're the best. After Hours Clinic is open. 8080 Bluebonnet, so Bluebonnet near Perkins inside the Surgical Specialty Center. You walk in, ground floor, look straight ahead. You'll see Brock. And, of course, HUDCO Roofing. The pinned comment is the HUDCO website. So if you click on the homepage, there's a little contact form. It'll take you like less than 60 seconds. Just fill out that, and we'll be in touch with you to schedule a free inspection. So come take a look at your roof. If you got any questions, we'd love to help. HUDCO Roofing, HUDCOroofing.com. Deuces. Have an awesome day. Ooh, hour and 42 minutes. It's a long show. Thanks for hanging out.